So Apocalyptic, I guess going back to the sale, what was it about her that initially caught your eye?
Just purely her athleticism. She just had this, she was quite a good size filly already at that stage, but she had just such a beautiful loose walk on her, lovely sort of demeanour about her, plenty of size and strength, and obviously, you know, being by the best stallion probably in the Southern Hemisphere. They were the main factors.
Have those physical traits you're talking about, the loose walk and also her mental demeanour and whatnot, has she continued to carry that through in the now as a 3-year-old?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, she was always quite a tall filly, even as a yearling and 2-year-old, I don't think she's grown any taller now that she's turned 3, but she's just filled out a bit more into that frame. And she sort of now looks like the sort of the finished product in terms of physically. So I think that 12-week spell she had after her sort of shortened autumn campaign was, hopefully might be a blessing in disguise.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that, because talk us through your emotions on debut. She was obviously there to win it, you didn't quite get there.
Yeah, I'd say frustration. Yeah. Look, it was probably mixed frustration that she didn't win, but also excitement with perhaps what she could go on to be. And look, she's got a long way to go. She's still a maiden. But yeah, I thought obviously it was a run that, was there to be seen. And obviously Regan Bayliss was a bit down on himself afterwards, because I think he sort of realised, but, that's part of racing. And, as I said, obviously after that we sort of had to stop her preparation for a couple of reasons, and maybe that'll end up being a blessing.
She sort of finished up with the trifecta of the 2-year-old Magic Millions. The Magic Millions was never the intent to go to with her, but she came in quite short for the Golden Slipper.
Yeah, look, I was never really of the belief that she was a Magic Millions, because to have a Magic Millions 2-year-old up and going in early January, they really need to be up and racing sort of around that October, November period pretty much most of the time. But sure, I mean, I think had she been able to press on towards a Golden Slipper or a size produce or something, that would have been very much on the agenda, but wasn't to be. So, hopefully we can see her do something in the spring and next autumn.
And when you say blessing in disguise just before, are you talking because she's now had the chance to grow physically and mature mentally?
Yeah, I think I was confident she had the ability to match it with some of the 2-year-olds that we had going around in the autumn, but whether she was really physically ready to do it may have been another matter, and sometimes you don't really find that out until they come back at 3. So, whilst it was frustrating at the time, I look at her now and think, well, maybe it was a good thing.
You've got fillies in here like Mahuna, who's obviously the same age. I guess physically, what's the comparison between her and Apocalyptic?
They're quite different. Mahuna's, a lot sort of stockier and more sort of muscle bound, so to speak. She's a sharper, shorter coupled looking type. Obviously Apocalyptic's got, as I said, that lovely scopy sort of physique, and of the two, she perhaps is potentially more likely to stretch out over a little bit further, we hope.
She has Tommy Berry ride her quite a lot. Tommy like her?
Tommy loves her. He's always been a fan right from the very early stage. I think he trialled her at Hawkesbury one day back in the early autumn and was really glowing in his praise about her. So he's a fan.
If you could isolate her down to one physical trait you love about her, what would that be?
I think one physical trait's just her size. I'd say size and scope, but that's 2 words. But one would be size.
Her pedigree's interesting. Extreme Choice Pros, Melbourne Cup winners, Oaks winners, Golden Slipper winners. She fits somewhere in that spectrum?
Yeah, all of the above. I very much doubt Melbourne Cup. You never know, but I wouldn't imagine. But yeah, he's incredibly versatile, that stallion. He gets 2-year-olds, older horses, short distance, long distance. So, I think whenever you have the opportunity to tap into a stallion like that, you jump at it, that's for sure.
Fair to say you're excited to have her back in the stable?
Yeah, look, it's a great time of year. Obviously, it's at this time of year, it's full of anticipation in every stable, I'd say, where you're sort of hoping you're going to have some young ones developing to 3-year-olds that are going to come back and take that next step. And sometimes there's disappointment that that doesn't happen. But yeah, sure, having her around amongst a few others too is exciting.